Hey, welcome back to Omega Strikers Nation. Today we are going to go over the tier list for the Rune patch update. So Rune is a new character and he's actually proving to be incredibly strong right now. He's primarily played as forward, but I have seen him play goalie every now and then. The one thing about Rune is that he has a very high skill cap because he has a lot of goal scoring combos or ball clearing combos that he can do. So the higher rating you are, the better Rune is going to be, which also means that the lower rank you are, the worse Rune is. With that in mind, I'm still going to leave him in the S tier because he's pretty much pick or ban in almost all the high level games right now. This typically does happen with new champions because the exact same thing happened when Amy came out, but Rune is actually performing really well, whereas Amy, she's just like a little mediocre, you know? On to the next champions in the S tier right now. I'm going to actually identify the best goalie, the best scorer, and the best support unit. Dubu still holds a spot in the S tier as the best goalie right now. Estelle probably the best goal scorer, and then Era the best support unit. The reason why they're so strong right now is because the changes in the recent patch, such as the training updates, really benefited these characters. Dubu did get a nerf, but he was so good beforehand that this little nerf didn't really touch him that much. Onto the A tier, Juno got bumped up a bit. Juno is a very strong supporting forward or even as a goaltender. I've been seeing like a bunch of Juno goalie recently. What Juno allows her team to do is really open up a lot more scoring opportunities because she's one of the best people at clearing the ball. Next up on the list is Kai. Kai is super flexible right now. He could be played pretty much in any position, like goal scorer, supporting forward, or goaltender. He just has a very flexible kit right now, and that's just because move speed is so important in Omega Strikers, and he pretty much gives himself one of the best move speed buffs in the game, if not the best. Drekar is going to be next on the list. He's a bit of a niche pick, but if you're good at Drekar, he's probably one of the best characters to play because a lot of people don't know how to play around the stealth mechanic. This is a very high skill cap move because it's kind of like mind gaming your opponents. It's not like the most mechanically intensive move, but you have to think ahead and predict how the opponents will react to you going missing. Last up in the A tier, we have Juliet, and Juliet finally moves out of the S tier because she got a ton of nerfs in the recent patch. And thank God, because I feel like this was a long time coming. Not much else to say there, but turns out if you hit a champion in many different ways, such as through her trainings, her actual character, and just like slice the numbers off a little bit, she's going to be a little worse, but she's not complete garbage. She's still in the A tier. I still think she's one of the better strikers because she's very punishing against mistakes, and people are making a lot of mistakes right now. And that's just the nature of Omega Strikers. It's really hard to play this game perfectly. I don't think anyone is even close to doing that because the game just came out, right? And she just punishes mistakes really hard. Onto the B tier, we have Amy, Luna, Atlas, and Asher. So I know you guys might be wondering like, I see these guys being played every now and then by top players. Yeah, top players play pretty much every champion, so you're always going to see certain champs at the top, but the S and A tiers, those are really like the main bread and butters right now for most ratings, I would say. I'm also not saying that B tier is bad. It might look bad because it is the lower half of the list of characters, but every character is extremely playable. Keep in mind, for all these tier lists, it's like if you're really good at a champion, you're going to do well on them no matter what. You're going to be playing better on a champion you played 100 games on than one you played 5 games on. And that's very true for me because in the C tier, X is the lone champion in the C tier. Pretty much everyone stopped banning and playing him, but he's my main character, so I'm still going to use him. I'm still going to climb with him because I just have so much more practice on him, and I know his playstyle a lot better than I do all the other characters. So just because your champion's in a low tier doesn't mean you like shouldn't play it. You should always stick to whatever playstyle works for you, and the tier list just means that their power level is just slightly lower than the other characters, which could be a big difference, could be a small difference, but most of the stuff in Omega Strikers is going to come down to skill. Your champion pick is not what's holding you back, and personal playstyle plays a huge role. For example, we're going to be coming out with a training guide in the near future, so go ahead and subscribe below if you have not already to get notifications for that. And in that training guide, I'm going to go over a lot of playstyle specific trainings because as long as you play around what type of trainings you have on your specific character, that training is going to work out really well. It's not good to just blindly pick whatever the best training is or whatever the meta training is or whatever like the pro players are using, because if you don't know how to actually use that training, it's going to be completely useless. For example, on Juno, I really like taking creator of durable things and creator of large things. Almost no one takes creator of large things on Juno, but I have like my highest Juno win rate with that rune page because I play around it. And that's what's great about this game, especially in its early stages since it just came out. If you have your own playstyle, you could really make it work despite what everyone else in the meta is doing. This has been true for every game launch that requires skill, because even though there is a meta, it's not perfectly defined and it's not refined either. For example, when StarCraft 2 came out, one of my friends hit top 10 on the server by doing cheesy rush strategies. And these were not meta at all, but since he really mastered that type of playstyle, he was just able to blow over everyone that he faced. This can also be seen in League of Legends, where a lot of people just one-trick random champions such as like C tier or D tier champions and still hit Challenger or Grandmaster. I do like making the tier list though, because it's interesting to see what people are playing and what works at different levels, so that's why we make them. But please don't take a character placement as an insult to your striker or even your personal character for that matter. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to be updating this once every patch, so whenever a new champion comes out, that's generally when they start a new patch, so we'll be doing that pretty much from now till forever. So make sure to hit the like button down below, and we hope to see you guys in our training video coming up soon.